My name's Becky Aberly, and I moved in here on November 1st, 1984, which for today is exactly 27 years and 11 months ago. I walked into the door the first time and looked at the fireplace, and I was sold immediately. And then the realtor took me to the sliding glass door, and I looked out, and at that time we had 2 rows of orchard. We had a gigantic garden, and we had a massive wooden fort with 2 swings on it. And we had a 2-year-old son named John Michael. It was the high end of our price range, but boy did I want this house. It was probably 6 years old when we moved here, so now it's going on 34 years old. And things start falling apart. The furnace was the original when we moved in here, and it stayed until last year. And I knew that since my husband had died last year, that I was responsible now for the house. To make a 3-year-long story short, Mark was diagnosed with bladder cancer in 2008, 3 years after I was diagnosed with breast cancer. My breast cancer was considered deadly, and his bladder cancer was considered curable. Obviously, that was not right. He progressively got worse, but he knew that it was in my best interest, in order to keep the house the best I could by myself, with very little experience in doing it alone, that Williams Comfort Air would be a benefit to me. Carl came, and he just presented as such a nice, decent guy. And I was not afraid when he came to the door and he had his Williams Comfort Air and he put his little shoes on, and Carl was so nice and patient and understanding for a person who had just lost a husband. He didn't say, well, your husband shouldn't have done this or your husband shouldn't have done that. He was understanding. He made a big impression on me in a time when I was extremely vulnerable and I needed somebody trustworthy, and he provided that. I knew that the heat pump was old, and now I was going to have to take care of that, and I fretted over that. And then I thought, well, Williams Comfort Air did the plumbing, so I might as well see what they could do about this part of it.
Well, my name is Frank, and I work for Williams Comfort Air, and I've been in the industry for 8 years.
They sent out Frank and Ryan, and they came to the door dressed appropriately and looking decent, you know, so I wasn't afraid to let them in. And they came in, and they were just automatically like almost part of the family. It was like they just came in and made themselves at home. I like that. That's my kind of way to work.
She welcomed us into the home, and then I asked her, well, where we're going to be working at today. And then she takes us downstairs, shows us the old furnace, and we kind of interact with each other, just asking what's wrong with the system, how old it is, just kind of getting comfortable with each other.
I'd had lunch with them. I made them lunch while they were here working.
She made sloppy joes and macaroni and cheese, and I told her I love sloppy joes, macaroni and cheese. So of course I'll sit down and have lunch with you. When
you break bread together, then there's a level of trust that's involved in that. And I felt totally at ease, even though part of me was saying, you are leaving your house to somebody you have never seen before in your life, and you're just doing it. And I thought, yes, I am. And I walked out. And I knew that they would take care of the house and they would lock the door when they left. And they did.
It's good for my soul. It makes me feel good immensely to be able to help somebody out who is vulnerable and who has just lost the love of her life.
I saw them as authentic, genuine, regular people who were doing their job the way that you're supposed to do a job, and not taking advantage of people or their misfortunes. I never felt that with any of them that came from Williams Comfort Air. There was never that issue.
Always know the golden rule: treat each other as you would want to be treated yourself. That's my goal for every job that I go to every day.